In recent months, Ilkay Gundogan has not just become Man City's key goal scorer, he's become the top scorer in the Premier League since December 15th, scoring more goals than any other player there. So what's been the key to his success? What's behind this mark?
I don't even think Pep Guardiola knows what the key is, because Gundogan is traditionally a deeper line midfielder that creates the passes for the forwards to score goals. But he's had a great run of form recently. I think we saw at the weekend at Liverpool how he can ghost in and arrive late to score goals, and he's certainly a very technical player, a very gifted player. But in the past at City, his problem has been fitness. He's not been able to stay fit, which had been an issue during his time at Borussia Dortmund. And at the early part of this season, I live in Manchester, and a lot of the Man City fans that I know are saying that they didn't like Gundogan. They felt that he was almost Pep Guardiola's teacher's pet, because he always seemed to play and he always used to kind of slow the team down. But he's had a transformation since December. I think he's the highest scorer in the Premier League. So Gundogan has certainly made a big impression recently. He's been a big part of City's recent run of winning games.
Sometimes when you see in a team that the main goal scorer goes out through injury or absences, whatever it is, and you say, who's going to score the goals? Do you think this is a case of him just taking advantage and stepping up in the absence of others? Because there was a word out that before the Chelsea game and after the Manchester derby, Pep Guardiola actually told his team, we do need more players to arrive in the box. It seems that he's taken this to heart.
Yeah, well, obviously they've been missing Kevin De Bruyne for the last few weeks, so De Bruyne's absence does open the door for Gundogan to get forward a little more. Maybe he's capitalising on that. But City are a team that have always scored a lot of goals. They have often 5 or 6 players in double figures every season, so it's good for City that Gundogan is delivering. I think he is a surprise package. I don't think they would have expected that, but let's see how long it lasts. Other clubs might be wise to it now. It might slow down a little bit, but regardless of that, he scored 9 goals in the Premier League since December. So if or when City win the league, that his goals have played a big part in that.
Is there a case to be made that he could actually go on to be Player of the Year if this continues?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of candidates out there. I think you'd have to suggest that Bruno Fernandes has had a great season at Man United. Gundogan certainly at City. I think Ruben Dias at City has had a great season as well. But I think you have to say that because City look like they could even win all 3 trophies, domestic trophies again. You're going to have to look at Man City for the best player of the season, the player of the season. And they've had so many good ones, but I think Gundogan is at the top of the list right now.
So you think that maybe there could be some trophies up for grabs for them this season. What about the Champions League?
Well, I did a piece at the start of the week suggesting that I think they're going to win the domestic treble because they are so close to that. But in terms of the Champions League, it's the one that keeps getting away. But you have to say they've got a very winnable round of 16 tie against Borussia Mönchengladbach. If City get through that, they're in great form. They've got a very deep squad. They're the top of the league and running away with it without Kevin De Bruyne and Sergio Aguero. So, Pep Guardiola's got great experience in the Champions League. He's got a great squad. They've got as good a chance as anybody. I really think that, and especially the fact that there are no fans in stadiums. And I think in recent years you've seen City maybe spooked a bit by going to Anfield and the atmosphere there, but that doesn't apply this time around. So I think City are the team to beat at the Champions League.
You said he's got a great squad. Another player that's really shining right now is Phil Foden. There are a few really good homegrown midfielders in the Premier League right now. Do you think he's the best of them? You've got to think of the likes of Jack Grealish as well, James Maddison.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Gareth Southgate, the England manager, you've got a real challenge on your hands for the summer for the Euros, because I'd imagine you can only pick maybe 2 of those players, 2 attacking midfielders. And I think, for me, Foden is the best because, Grealish is a player, he's got great talent, he's a great dribbler, great with assists, and Maddison scores a few more goals, he's quick with his feet, he's probably, he can make things happen a bit quicker than Grealish. But Foden, to me, is a kind of a combination. He's also got this incredible burst of pace, which the other 2 don't quite have. And I think that, for me, makes him the all-round package. I think you can throw in Mason Mount in that group as well, who's had a good season at Chelsea. And look at Ross Barkley, had a great start to the season at Aston Villa, and now he's probably 5th in the queue. But for me, Phil Foden is at the head of it because he's doing it for the best team in the country. He's doing it in big games. He's doing it in the Champions League as well. So they're all following him. Grealish, Maddison, Barkley, Mason Mount, they're all following Phil Foden right now.
And obviously, Phil Foden is a player that everybody always wanted to see more of. Do you think that's going to be the case, that we will now see more and more of him with what we've been seeing from him on the pitch?
Yeah, well, I think he's only 20, and I think the one thing that will stand him in good stead this year is the fact that Euros were delayed last summer. I think if the Euros had happened in 2020, he wouldn't have made the squad, or he might have just made the squad and been sat on the bench for the tournament. I think now he'll be 21 when the tournament comes around, and he will, for me, be a starting player. And if he starts for England and England do well, he could suddenly, propel himself as to one of the real stars of the game. He's playing for the best team in England. He's winning trophies, and he could dominate or have a great, major tournament with the Euros this summer. So he's got the world at his feet, and I think at the moment he's really lapping it up, and he's showing what a great player he is, and he's at the best place in the Pep Guardiola at Man City.
Another great player, one of the greatest, is Lionel Messi. Does City actually need him right now?
It's a good question. I think Lionel Messi is arguably the greatest player ever. Along with Ronaldo and people like Pele and Maradona, he's in that debate, isn't he? He's up there, and I think if any club had the chance to sign him, even at 34, which will be at the start of next season, you take it. Now, Man City have got the money to do it, they've got the ambition to do it, but do they need Lionel Messi? They don't need him for goals. They score enough goals as it is. They don't need him to win the Champions League because he hasn't done it for Barcelona for 6 years. So he's not a key to unlock the door to the Champions League. But if he comes to the club, as great as he is, what happens to Kevin De Bruyne? What happens to Raheem Sterling? What happens to Phil Foden? What happens to Bernardo Silva? There's a risk that he goes to Man City and he could disrupt what they've got going there. So, if City have a chance to get him, they'll get him. I don't think they'll pass up on it because I don't think there's a negative for it. But I think there is a negative in the sense that it could disrupt what a great attacking outlet they have. And they certainly wouldn't want to disrupt the development of Phil Foden to bring in Lionel Messi, who, let's look at his stats and his goals in the last 18 months. He's not producing like he used to do. So maybe Messi isn't the player he was. So do you sacrifice your great attacking quality to bring him in? Probably will do, yes, but I think that they don't need him.
Maybe that's what Messi needs, though, Mark. Maybe he needs better quality players around him in the attack, and then everything will come together for both Manchester City and Lionel Messi when it comes to the Champions League.
Yeah, maybe the selling point from Pep Guardiola could be, look, come to Man City, Lionel, and you'll have to fight for your place alongside Foden and Silva, which by rights he should do because every player has to earn the place. But I don't think Lionel Messi is going anywhere to sit on the bench or to fight for his place. He's going to be in the team, the main man, the number one. But there's quite a few main men at Man City right now. There's quite a few top dogs, people like Kevin De Bruyne, the alpha males in that squad. There's quite a few. So which alpha male is going to be prepared to sacrifice himself for the alpha male that is Lionel Messi? It's going to be it'll be interesting if it happens. I think there's a very good chance it will.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.